And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera. Behind the camera. No, see, now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Okay?
My man.
Okay.
Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic.
That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog.
How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta have
so
the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do
mean,
it? Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but you know.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when it's
try
time,
this with you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Harsh words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday. It is Thursday, y'all. It is Thursday. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, thriving Thursday, as I always say. A thrilling Thursday. Hopefully it's a thrilling Thursday in a good way. Not like Capitol riots, thrilling. You know what I'm saying? We don't need another, we don't need another Olympus Has Fallen thing going on. Seriously. We don't need Gerard Butler. We've seen enough of his movies. Real talk. Gerard Butler, stop making those movies. Please. That's my direct message to you, my brother. I love you. You're a great, talented actor. Just don't do anything with Katherine Heigl anytime soon, and stop making the same damn movie over and over and over again. Please. All right? Sorry. Just had to say it out loud. But anyway, hopefully you guys are all having a wonderful, thriving Thursday. Like I said, another day above this ground is a blessing. All right? So pat yourself on the back, because you've been blessed with another day. You know what I'm saying? You got through yesterday. Now it's time to get through today. All right? Anyway, I got my brothers in the house. What's up, guys? Jack in the house and David. Wataguan, fellas.
Hey. Good morning. Good morning. How's it going today? You guys are both got the same color palette going on today when I'm looking at you.
I don't know.
So it's just pleasant on the eyes. You got blue and purple in the background of you, and someone behind David. It's just just nice to look at.
Sure, why not?
And then there's you guys.
And then there's you guys. What the heck is that? Come on, we just got these guys a part of the show. Sheesh. No love in the club. No love in the club at all, bruh. Damn. Well,
how's it going, David?
I was gonna say, aside from all that negativity, how you doing, David?
Man. I'm doing pretty good. Good morning, everyone in chat. It's it's going to be a crazy week. It looks like we'll talk about our next week's going to be a crazy week. I guess we're going to preview some of it this week, though.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, as we've been talking about, for the past couple days, and of course, I've been breaking stories. I tried to finish a show early yesterday, which was a full-on lie. I said, I'm tired. It's going to be 30 minutes. It ends up being over an hour long. What else is new? It's the famous last words. It's like that dad or that uncle that does this family speeches all the time. He's like, I'm going to make this quick. And he usually says that. Usually means he's going to talk for 20 minutes. And that's what basically happened. I'm the uncle. You know what I'm saying? I'm that uncle going, hey, I'm gonna make it quick. I'm going to make this quick, but I'm going to keep it moving. We are going to be talking about a few things that I've already talked about in a pop-up video that I broke last night. I said I was going to go to sleep because I was tired. I wanted to sleep so bad. But then sat down, I'm eating some late dinner. I look up and I see that this story about panic buttons being torn out of the offices of the Capitol building before the riots. And I was like, I have got to break this story to you guys. So, that is literally a pop-up video, the last pop-up video I did last night. I'm seeing that you guys are starting to consume it, watch it, that kind of thing, because, I did it late last night. It dropped around 11:30 my time, so by the time you guys are waking up, you're seeing that video, you're getting that breaking story, and I wanted to be one of the first people to break that story to you all. And so hopefully you guys get a chance to go and check it out. We are going to talk about it a little bit more live here because I wanted to discuss it amongst our people, talk about it amongst the new family members, and talking amongst my boys. You know, T will be on a little bit later on this show. Hopefully, I think he will be on. And we got to talk about a whole bunch of stuff, okay? One of them most definitely is about these panic buttons, okay? Let's jump into it. Representative Ayanna Pressley made claims, and actually also one of her staff, like her assistants, actually made a statement saying that their panic buttons in their office were torn out, so that they couldn't use it. They tore it out before the riots happened. Now, the thing is, and I saw your comments. I read everybody's comments this morning, and thank you so much for all the comments and everything. You guys posed a lot of questions. In the article that I read on that pop-up video, it mentioned that they used the panic button like a month prior, and that they said, well, the buttons were there before. Why were they not there now? Doesn't make any sense that a month ago they worked and they were there. Now they're not there anymore. Question is, though, why did they press that button a month ago prior? What was the motivation behind them pressing a panic button a month ago? They said they used it a month ago. That's just something that's very interesting to me. Then on top of that, they go in there, they do their thing. The riots come in, they go into their office, they turn to wherever this button's supposed to be, and it be gone. That's really strange. Now, I haven't heard any other stories of any other congressmen, congresspeople, elected officials saying the same story. We haven't heard the same story from anyone else. But Ayanna Pressley, Representative Ayanna Pressley, is saying that she had her panic button ripped out. And that's insane in my personal opinion. But I want to throw it to the guys. And of course, get the chat going down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this story. Don't forget to hit those likes too, please. Crush them likes, get them likes up, please. I'd really appreciate that. Fellas, what are your thoughts on this? I'm going to throw it to David first. David, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm not sure why they would have used the button about a month ago. As far as I know, there wasn't anything major there. But at the same time, I don't know, the senator or the representative, she could have just had somebody in there that didn't want to leave, and she pushed for that reason. It's kind of hard to say. It is weird that it's removed, though. But the fact that it's only hers makes it seem less sinister somehow. Like, I don't know. Like, why would they remove just hers in her office? It was in her office, right? Or was it?
Oh, it was her office.
Area?
It was her office.
Yeah.
It was in her office. It was not a common area. It was in her office. I guess every office has a panic button in their office. And next thing you know, she goes into her office, obviously, because she's hearing about something going on. I don't know. Reaches for where the button's supposed to be, and it's gone. So I haven't heard any other stories as of yet. I mean, it is still early, but I have yet to hear any other politicians say, or elected officials say, yeah, my panic button was ripped out too.
Yeah, it's just really weird, especially since I haven't heard, the far right even mention her or talk about her a lot at all. So, I mean, it's very possible they were targeting her, and it's just people have a problem with her that we never heard of. But could also be just like, I don't know, they should check with like the maintenance people and everything there. Maybe they removed it and never finished their job or something like that.
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
Real quick before I throw it to Jack, I just wanted to. There was a comment here, and this could hopefully inspire your comment here too. Strategic Eyes, shout out to Strategic. What's up, man? He just said something that I thought was very interesting. He said, "I guess the insurrectionist saboteurs underestimated their own power. Even if they left the panic button, it would be useless because they were able to take the Capitol." I think that's very interesting too, because no matter what, if they were to hit that panic button, I don't think it would have done anything. But it is an interesting detail. That is a very interesting detail. Let's be real. That's interesting. Jack, your thoughts?
It's one of those things where if it could have been a wide variety of any of the other representatives like offices, but because it's hers, it makes it a little bit more interesting as well. Because she's part of the informal group called the Squad, with Omar,
AOC,
Tlaib, and Acacia Cortez. So it's one of those things that in an interview with the Boston Globe in 2019. She said her office received death threats after President Trump's tweets of July 14, 2019, and in general since her election. So because she's been targeted before, it makes it feel like that maybe she was targeted again. And if it was, coordinated with somebody inside, and if they were trying to make it, to where certain people were having less of a chance to be able to get out, that's one way of doing it.
Yeah, it's just. Sorry, Debate Me said, "Oh snap, Pascal gone sexual." Talking about buttons now. I'm done. Now, now the thing is like, the situation is weird. There's also stories. I'm assuming she's one of the elected officials or one of the Congress people that were sitting there saying that they are for defunding the police. Now, that could be another reason that could spark interest or certain types of unwanted passions directed in her direction. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're going, oh, well, shoot. We're going to take out any person that's going against police, against Trump, against this election, so on and so forth. And I can definitely see that. Go ahead, Jack.
She, in early June 2020, her and Libertarian Representative Justin Amash introduced the Unqualified Immunity Act. The act would remove from law enforcement officers and other officials the protection of qualified immunity and routinely protected them from prosecution when they would claim that acts that would otherwise trigger criminal charges have been committed as part of performing their official duties. So she's trying to strip police officers and law enforcement and officials of, basically a get out of jail free card.
That's not like it might be possible, that they did it, but I wouldn't be sure if it was exactly part of the Capitol riot, because it would make more sense just to cut the wire so she wouldn't even know that she's not getting help. She would just been waiting in there thinking she's getting help and never would have got it. So
that's devious, David.
I'm just saying, if it was a trap, I just say there could be better traps. But if it could be a trap, it doesn't mean everyone who tries to catch someone thought it through fully either. But yeah, it's just really weird. I do think that if it was intended to be a trap, though, that they wouldn't have removed the button. They would have either cut it or just not responded. But I don't really know for sure either.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, if they were to remove you're right. If they were to remove that button, would it, or if they were to keep that button in there, would it really even matter? Would they even be able to use that button? Let's be real. Would they be able to use the button? Would it be effective? Probably not. Because everybody and their mama would be pressing the panic button. Every elected official would sit there and go, boop, because they're freaking out and they don't know what to do. They were understaffed as far as security. We all know this. What's surprising to me is that nothing worse happened. We already know about pipe bombs found everywhere. There was a guy that was arrested or was obtained. He had over 11 Molotov cocktails on his body. Like, they were ready to light some ish on fire. And thank God nothing happened. Nothing more happened. But even so, man, let's be real. Even so, if they were to hit that button, it wouldn't mean a damn thing. Now, there's a lot of people out here, just to turn left a little bit. There's a lot of people here that are claiming that she's doing a Jussie Smollett, that she's lying, that she's not telling the truth, that she's exaggerating things just so she can get a moment under the spotlight. And I'm going to sit here and say that no, I don't think it's a lie. I really don't think it's a lie. I think this is full 110% true story. This is a true story, guys. We already know that there's so many pieces of this that have been known as being an inside, that there are known pieces that literally point towards an inside job. So I would not put it past any person to have any types of trigger buttons or panic buttons or anything, trap doors, whatever it might be, completely disabled. Because they were ready to do some really bad things. Now, even AOC has taken to Twitter and has gotten her back. You know what I mean? Has in defense of Ayanna Pressley, and she's sitting there going, "It doesn't make any sense that, you know, why would all the panic buttons be gone?" So there was multiple buttons that were in her room, just in case. You know what I'm saying? Just in case ish hits the fan, those buttons were gone. Now, the other thing is I saw these in the comments, you know, in the comments section, which like I said before, thank you. But there's another piece of questions or parts of questions that I want to know now. Like, what were they planning on doing if they detained Ayanna, or if they got AOC, or if they got Nancy Pelosi, or if they got Pence? What were they going to do? What was the plan? It's insane.
I mean, if they got Pence, they're going to drag him out to the gallows they set up, and they're going to hang him.
But everybody else, all the other elected officials that they probably had a fatwa for, you know what I'm saying? What the hell? Go ahead, David.
I honestly think they were, I guess, aiming to be terrorists in the most literal sense. I'm not sure that they were going to kill anyone. Maybe hurt them a little, but like, for instance, the gallows weren't functional. It wasn't even like, it was just a piece of board laid across two other things. A lot of it was show stuff, and you know, they had zip ties in there, which, you know, to arrest people, that's going to terrify them. And a lot of what Trump said was to make a message to them, and he did say in his speech not to be violent. Obviously, they didn't listen, but I just think that maybe they were there literally to be terrorists, in the sense of, you know, take those people out there, put them in front of these fake gallows, have them in zip ties. I mean, they weren't hiding their faces, so they know if they murdered anyone, they were going to be taken care of pretty quick. Yeah. So I think it was for show. And, I mean, obviously, it's still terrorism. That's literally what they were aiming to do. And in this sense, I think it was to create terror. And so I think they would have probably not killed anyone. I'm not sure, obviously. But I think they would have just gone through a routine to terrorize all of them. And then they would have vanished because they were all showing their faces. They all thought they were in the right, and they thought they were going to be on the news as champions. I'm not saying that if they started to do that, no one would have got carried away and killed someone. That's very much possible. It's a dangerous situation to put people in, because people will lose control of their emotions, or they might just be straight up bad actors who wanted to kill someone from the beginning. But yeah, I think their goal was literally terrorism, and that death was a possible outcome. I don't think it was intended.
I think that it was. Because there was a guy that they got that had like a truck. He was like a 72-year-old man that had a truck that they found that had like 2,500 rounds of ammunition, several guns that were in the front seats, and then he had a whole bunch of like makeshift at-home Molotov cocktails, or napalm cocktails, basically. So that's and when they arrested him, and he said that he was prepared not to go home alive. So
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to laugh at.
Yeah.
It's just, that's just
insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
remember
there's bombs placed inside the Capitol.
I also, mind you, I want to remind everybody that just about 2 weeks prior, I'm sorry, what happened in Nashville on Christmas Day. Yeah. I just want to point that out. There's plenty of wackadoos, nutsoids, or just very angry, enraged, and very passionate people out here that are willing to do any type of crazy, y'all. Any type of crazy. And we saw it all on display on the 6th, even more. Thank God there were no, downtown boom. At least we didn't have that. Thank God we didn't have that again. But they're talking about the possibility of that coming up here very, very soon, which we are going to talk about here in a second. But you guys were saying something. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that left turn here, but it's just crazy how easily obtainable crazy acts can be achieved. And when you see one person get through, like say a threshold of security officer, or like security officers or cops or something like that, once one sees them break through, they all start to break through. And then it's like one thing leads to another, and then more chaos begets more chaos, and it just gets worse and worse and worse until a cop gets his head bashed in with a fire extinguisher on the steps of the Capitol building. A woman gets shot inside the building because she's so enraged and she so badly wants to get to Mike Pence that she gets shot for it. This is all very insane series. This has been an insane series of events that happened on the 6th. And now there is speculation and talks of this happening again this coming week. Shoot, starting this weekend. And, you know, I want to point something out too, guys. There's something that's really funny to me because they've been showing like CNN video, like CNN news coverage of like the gates that are around these buildings and everything. I need to find these videos. Maybe one of you guys can find it for me and maybe send it to me. It's just them showing like, hey, we're getting ready for the inauguration, and they got 8-foot fences that are covering the Capitol, all over the Capitol, basically. And I just think it's funny. Not funny, ha-ha. Just I think it's funny that they think that that's going to stop people from doing what they want to do. I just need to see the video again. What were you going to say? Who was talking right there? David?
I was just going to say they are taking pretty much. They're going to have a full army there. They're Virginia guards deploying there, Minnesota guards deploying there, a few other guard members deploying there. They're pulling police specifically from Cincinnati. I'm guessing because there's been a lot of riots in Cincinnati, so the riot police there are pretty experienced. So they are preparing for this. So there's going to be an army there. I think they have triple layered fences going up, which might actually help because triple layered fences do tend to slow down people a lot more than single or double layered. It just takes a long time to get through those. They might work, but then at the same time, people got wire cutters, the right material. They can just cut right through that stuff. So they still need all of the soldiers and police there. And the FBI has said that there's planned to be 50 armed protests in 50 states. We don't know that any of them, we don't know that any one in particular is going to become violent or anything. But obviously, when you have 50 states with armed protests, there's always the possibility of that's turning very violent very quickly. So there is a huge chance for a lot of fighting on the 20th. I think it might be kept in check in D.C. just because of the amount of soldiers and police there. It's really hard to say because, I mean, if there are people that intend to do terrorism, it's always asymmetrical. They're not going to fight the guard or the police in like a line or on the street. They're going to do stuff like that guy with the pipe bombs or someone else that's trying to attack without being there. So there's still a huge chance for chaos in D.C., even with all those guard and police there.
Yeah.
And all the state capitals, there's too many for me to follow, so I can't really say what's going to go on in any of those. But for like Denver alone, it looks like there's going to be a lot of armed protests. Lauren Boebert, however you say it, is from Colorado. And so, you know, she's got supporters.
Yeah.
If she was involved in any, I mean, she was she showed up with her gun.
Right, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. But let me just, before we go into that, segue into that, this is the video that I was trying to pull up here. This is just obviously this is what we saw yesterday during the live stream of the announcement of the impeachment, right? But there is a clip here that I want you guys to check out. Take a look.
And our own Vaughn Hilliard, he's outside the Capitol today. And Vaughn, what a difference a week and actual extra security make. What do you see today that is so strikingly different than a week ago?
I think Kristen said it, the fact that it's a ghost town around here now. And I want to give you an idea where we're at. We're on the east side of the Capitol, Chuck. This is 2nd Street. And we're going to come here into the road. I'm going to let you see down here because this is new as of yesterday. Public was still able to get up to what was a first layer of fencing over on 1st Street. That has been since pushed back now to 2nd Street. You can see this is East Capitol Street. The areas around Washington, D.C., most of the streets are now blocked off, extending all the way to the White House here. I just got off the phone, Chuck, with an official from DOD who tells me just last night at 6 p.m. it was approved by the Secretary of Army that National Guardsmen are now able to be armed here. I think it's important to
Did you hear that? National Guard are now able to be armed there. I'm not trying to throw out conspiracies. I'm just giving you guys the news, okay? Just so you guys know. This is something that's really going on. And he's going, hey, look at this building being covered in 8-foot fence. And we're going to walk across the street and look at other fence wrapping around another building. I got my 2 cents. I'm going to hold on to it. Let's let him finish.
1 week ago, as you set up, versus now. And that is the fact that 1 week ago, there was no National Guard's presence. And by the time National Guardsmen were deployed, it wasn't until an hour after the breach of the Capitol. Now, there are more, as of today, more than 6,600 National Guardsmen and women on the ground here in the Washington, D.C. area. And that official telling me knew that up to 15,000 will be deployed by Inauguration Day.
15,000.
And for anybody that goes driving around D.C., you see cargo trucks blocking roadways. You see guardsmen. And again, I think this is important to note what the role of the National Guard is. They are here as support. So you have the likes of the Capitol Police. This is the perimeter where the Capitol grounds end. Capitol Police has jurisdiction over these Capitol grounds. So the guardsmen are coming in to support that effort. And what is new here is the fact that those guardsmen are now armed here. You have, again, several thousand. Not all of them are here to protect the grounds necessarily. They're also here for medical support purposes, logistical purposes, traffic purposes. And where you're trying to get between the White House and here right now, we're still several days away from Inauguration Day. But today, the presence is so strikingly different than even as it was yesterday, in large part with these impeachment proceedings underway today. We should note there is no threat that we are aware of today, yet it is telling here a week before Inauguration Day that you already see, Chuck, this sort of presence here on the Capitol grounds.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're
Well, yeah, now they're going, hey, subscribe to us so we can get some monies. So, yes, there you have it, guys. National Guard is there. Now they're suited and booted. Now they got their weaponry. They can have guns and everything. But I wanted you guys to see the actual like fencing and all that. Can I just say this? Can I just keep it real? Can I keep it straight funky with y'all? Hold on, I want to put this up so I can see you guys' reaction. I want to see these guys' reactions. You know, my brother's on the show today. I want to see your reaction when I say this. No, I don't think that. I really don't think it's going to do a damn thing. I don't think fencing's going to do a damn thing. Sure, like this morning I saw on the news they were showing like, hey, okay, you gotta, if you're trying to get to the whatevers, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to go out there and do some crazy, you're going to have to crawl up this 8-foot fence. By the way, some of it isn't even 8 feet. Some of it's like 6, or some of it's like 7 feet tall. All right. And then they go, but if you crawl over it, if you succeed and get over, you are going to be met with a lot of firepower. Verbatim, they said that. But still, that doesn't mean that's going to change anything. They can't get everybody. And if people are that angry about the inauguration, it's going to stop nobody from doing, it's not going to stop anybody from doing bad things. That's just what I think. Because just because they're not doing chaos right near, let's say, Biden or anything, or even Pence, because Pence will be attending the inauguration, doesn't mean that they can't start chaos in the streets.
Right.
Or any other buildings. You're telling me all the Congress, all the elected officials are going to be on the other side of that fence? I think not. Not all of them. So I just think it's very interesting. They're like, hey, look, we got this fence. And sure, there's gonna be military all up in that piece. They already, you saw it you guys, family. You watched it with me yesterday afternoon with on the inauguration decision day, right? And they showed a video of a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of soldiers just laid out, sleeping, getting their rest in the basement of somewhere, just chilling. Hundreds of soldiers. You even saw me. I even saluted them. I'm like, hey, I appreciate you guys protecting what needs to be protected right now. But this is real. And I really don't think that a flimsy looking fence is going to do anything. They were able to get through barricades of cops and security and fences, and didn't stop them from, bum rushing the Capitol building. What are your thoughts, guys?
I agree.
Or Jack, go ahead, Jack.
So one thing that what people really aren't talking about is that at the last speech, that was all Trump supporters, right? So now I'm imagining there's going to be a large group of Democrats that are out in full force too. So this isn't going to be just like there's one section of people that's on the streets. I think that there's going to be more individual to individual clashes than things that end up happening to like the government building or to Congress people. Like I could see more confrontations happening and perhaps people dying and if it's going to be going on in all different 50 states, like there's going to be large gatherings of opposing forces basically. And like you're saying, like, is that basically that I could see that being like what they're referencing as the start of the Civil War or Second Civil War. It's a headbutting situation. I mean, because if especially if you're all forced behind these barricades and people are on the streets, and like you said, those fences, if you have 200,000 people that show up that want to get down through a street, and that's the only thing they have there, they're going to do it. And and if I've ever seen them, the largest trucks are usually adorned with some Trump flags flying outside the windows, and I think those can probably go right through those fences. But it's I don't know, too little, too late, right? I think they should have already had that set up the last time.
Yes.
Should have already had everybody in position. This shouldn't have been, taking this long to get this situated out.
Figgity facts, baby. David.
Yeah, Gary, those fences aren't going to stop anyone. They'll slow down a bunch of people on foot for a little bit. They're not going to stop those either. I mean, it's chain link. You can climb over it, and it's improv, so you can run through it.
Exactly.
But, so it's there to help keep individuals from climbing over while the police are trying to hold a line. Without the police there actively defending the fence, it's not going to do anything on its own. And I agree that, I don't know for sure, but I agree with Jack that any of those large trucks would probably be able to drive through those fencings without any problem.
Yeah.
I mean, if you compare it to like actual defensive fencing at a like improv fort or anything, usually you're looking at something that's already been like partially concreted with reinforcement like wiring behind it. This doesn't look like it has that. So really this to me looks like it's just to stop individual people. I don't even think it would stop a large mass. Chain linking's not that strong. A couple hundred people putting all their weight on it could probably push through it themselves. I mean, I have a chain link fence and I accidentally tore it just by jumping over it. So I'm sure they could do the same here.
I think that there's a lot of people that are already angry as hell, right? People are really, really angry. They saw what they were able to do on the 6th. So now they feel like they can do anything. Anything's possible now. So I know, of course, that's why the government is bringing out the National Guard and making sure that they are strapped. But at the same time, I mean, now they strapped, y'all. Now, but a chain linked fence is not going to do anything, in my personal opinion. They already now know. This further emboldens them, making them believe that they can do anything now, because they're like, yo, we got in there. Yeah, we didn't get Nancy Pelosi. We didn't get any elected officials, but man, were we close. Now, if we just do it one more time, guys, do it for the Gipper. You know what I'm saying? A game of inches. Any Given Sunday. It's a movie. Check it out. It's good. It's a good speech. Al Pacino. You know what I mean? It's a game of inches. You know what I mean? I can't do Al Pacino, but you know what I'm saying, okay? And there's that guy getting on the chair going, come on, win this one for the Gipper. You know what I'm saying? We could do this one more time. Now, I understand that these platforms, these Parler and all that have been shut down. Yeah, I mean, here it is, though. Think about it. What if they were shutting down Parler, banning Trump indefinitely on Twitter? YouTube is putting him YouTube's putting him on for like a week. What if they're all doing this so that they don't incite any more violence up until Inauguration Day? And once Inauguration Day goes and passes, and it's fine, and nobody dies, and no one gets shot, no cops get their heads bashed in with fire extinguishers and whatnot. What if they lift all those things back? Think about it. They're like, okay, the dangerous stuff is over now. All the big buttons, all the big bullets that we have to attend to are from this point until the Inauguration Day. After Inauguration Day, we can relax. We can back up. What if they're doing that? What if they're going, hey, yeah, we're just kidding. We're just kidding, Trump. You're back on Twitter. Come on back, baby. Come on. Come on. You're good. Come on. You're invited back in. You know what I'm saying? What if Parler suddenly is like, oh, yeah, we're back. Everything's back up and running. Damn fascist, communist, socialist economy. You know what I mean? What if it's back after Inauguration Day? But they shut them down because of fear of people saying stuff, gathering into chat rooms or webs, whatever they're doing their thing, wherever they're doing their comments on Parler, because I don't know how Parler works. But whatever they're doing, and then suddenly they just go, boom, okay. You're good. Come on back. Parler's back up and running, guys. Yes! Yes! You know what I'm saying? Imagine.
Honestly, I don't even think they need Parler at this point, because according to Gab's CEO, they've been gaining 10,000 users per hour for about 5 days now.
Who?
The CEO of Gab.
Gab.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard the other thing that's like Parler. Basically, they're just Twitter equivalents.
Right,
so they've been gaining 10,000 users per hour since Saturday.
Shoot. So he's whoever's Gab is just happy as hell. It's like, yes. Sorry, Parler. Or unless you wanna partner up, you can. It'll cost you millions of dollars now because we got the goose, baby. But are they still a First Amendment social media app? Do they still practice like you have freedom of speech here? They're gonna get shut down soon. Then I'm sorry to say that, but we live in this big tech problem right now, as Trump has been saying. Our big problem is the big tech taking away our freedom of speech. I don't know why he just went into Southern accent, but I just went there. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. That if Parler gets turned down, then Gab starts to come onto the rise. Of course, the Trump supporters and the radical right need a place to talk. I understand. They need a place to vent. They need their water cooler or their water. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the office and you go and you stand around the water cooler doing all your gossip there. They need their water cooler. Okay, I get that. We all need a place to just vent our stuff. I just don't get it. I guess I'm old school. It's like, isn't that why you have friends? What about your friends? You know what I'm saying? Like, what about your friends? What about a good old fashioned phone call? Why do you have to go to an app and spout out your whatever you might be thinking? It could be white supremacist rhetoric or racist rhetoric. Why do you have to go to an app to do that? Don't you? You got friends, and you know for a fact you are what you eat. You know what I mean? You are who you hang out with. So I mean, if you go, like I don't get it. Like if you're a white supremacist, for example, or if you're a full-on racist, my thoughts are you're going to be around people who think the same as you most of the time, right? So why would you need to go to an app to talk your racist rhetoric? You see what I'm saying? It just, to me, I understand that the internet is not filled with sunshine and daffodils and butterflies and candy canes and unicorns. I get it. There is a corner of that world in the internet world too, but I know that it can be very dark. But why must you go to a platform to go, damn right, damn slur, 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 slur? It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. That's why you have friends. To talk to your friends. Say it out loud instead of on a QWERTY keyboard. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, a lot of times the people that have those extremist views are isolated or are in their own little rabbit hole and maybe are the black sheep of the family.
That's true.
You know, it's so they have to go out online to go find another person that they can actually connect with, because everybody else is like, no, that's not how this works. And then they're like, no, it is. I'll find somebody that tells me it is. That's how it works. And then they can. And so it's but there's Gab, Me, We, and Rumble. They're the three main ones that people have been running off to.
Apparently Telegraph as well. Telegraph is another one. Well, allegedly it was starting to take off, and then Gab, I guess now, is the one that's taking the lead. But that's new to me as well. Real quick, Pete Stoutenberg just said apparently the Secret Service has a counter sniper standard protocol and prefer people know about it in order to prevent radicals from an attempted assassination. That is real too. That is actually happening. They're going, hey, just so you know, for y'all who try to do some crazy stuff to the soon-to-be newly elected president, we got somebody out there with their sniper. We got some of the best in the country watching y'all. So if we find out if there's any guns pointed at our soon-to-be elected president, headshot, done. That's how prepared they are. But at the same time, though, Pete, I appreciate the comment, but I also do think that kind of thing is always there. There's always a sniper. There always is. Most definitely. When Trump was out speaking at that rally, for example, there was a sniper. Most definitely. There's always somebody combing the crowd just to make sure nobody crazy is out there doing anything stupid. So yeah, I mean, it is true. That's a good point that they're letting everybody know, like, we got our guns pointed at you guys this time, and we will come down with the fury, like the fury of the sun, right? But at the same time, just like Sidecar Tommy just said, good morning, my brother. He just said multiple snipers. For sure. There's multiple. Duh. That's why you don't do anything crazy. That's why you don't do anything stupid. So they've been there, but they're just letting everybody know, like, hey, we hiding, but I'm just letting you know that that they are out there. Just in case if you try to do anything stupid, we will take you out with no remorse. You know, and that's the thing. We got to jump into this conversation. The idea of a second civil war. Now, they're already saying there are people already speculating that it's already happened, or that's already happening. The Civil War has begun. It's been happening. They're even saying that the Civil War has been happening since, the riots that were happening in Portland and all that, the BLM, Antifa. Like, we've been seeing Proud Boys and Antifa going head to head, a little East Side, West Side, like Jets versus the Sharks type thing, like West Side Story stuff, which is ridiculous. But there have been a lot of fighting and little battles going on. Now they're saying since everything that happened on the front steps of the building, of the Capitol building, they've been saying that this has started off the beginning of a civil war. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? You know, how are you consuming this idea? That's what I want to know. David or Jack.
David, you can go. I just blows my mind to think about it. But David, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. As far as the Civil War, I mean, people have been talking about that for a while in regards to this.
Forever, by the way. Forever. Yeah. You know? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see what people think of when they talk about a Civil War with people in uniforms fighting as distinct groups that they know about. That's not going to happen in this case. For the main part, the division is with private citizens and who they support. It's not so much a division of people in control of military forces. You do have Trump, but he will be losing control of the forces in 6 days. And frankly, the state guards far outweigh that. I mean, but the thing is, they're not going to end up fighting each other. They're too dependent on each other. The army can't operate without the guard at this point, and the guard can't operate without the army. They've stopped being fully distinct I mean, they're still distinct, but they're not able to operate on their own the same way they were, say, 60 or 70 years ago, because they've all been changed since September 11th, basically, in the way we interact with both forces. What I do see happening is the potential for, like Pascal said, more fighting in the street between people. They might have, just be carrying a flag or their clothing. I don't think we'll necessarily see a government civil war. I just think we'll see it between the people. And that could evolve into something different, especially if politicians continue to push in favor of Trump, for instance, and perhaps create a second group for people to rally behind. I'm not sure that that's going to happen, though. So while I do see a huge chance for an increase of violence and for the violence to happen mostly amongst regular people, I'm not sure we'll see a civil war in the sense of what most people think of when they talk about a civil war. We're just going to see massive chaos and acts of terrorism. I don't think we'll see two unified forces fighting each other, though.
Yeah, you know what? I totally agree with what you said. That I do think it's going to be a civil war. It's not going to be regular average Americans versus the government. I do think it's going to be just opposing sides, like we were talking about. Like Debbie just said, like Tupac versus Biggie. You know what I mean? Going after each other. Except it would be like Kid Rock versus, I don't even know, Snoop Dogg, DaBaby. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of somebody like, yeah, it'd be like Kid Rock versus Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? Going head to head. It won't be like, the government going after another government. I don't think that there's going to be a split. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't think there's going to be a North and South type of situation, the Confederate versus, you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's just going to be a civil, more person to person, average Americans going after each other. That could be bad. That could actually be bad. Like we're on the grounds of Sarajevo, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's just people going after each other because you're wearing a MAGA hat or you're wearing a BLM hat, a BLM shirt, and those people are getting shot and killed in the streets viciously, just headshot, run off because he's wearing a BLM shirt, just because of that. Or it could just be the color of their skin, which is insane as well.
That's actually
it's insane.
One of the things I was pointing to earlier with the a lot of the movements against like black conservatives from white people on the left. It's kind of one of these things I was warning about. Is now we're in this situation where race, even though it's not homogenous and it's not true, but a race has been considered tied completely with the Democrats at this point, and it is likely that as violence continues, those who champion the right will target the people they see inextricably associated with the left. So there's definitely a strong possibility for an increase in racial violence over this, especially. Well, it could change over the next few months. BLM has lost a little bit of popularity in terms of national polling, but not a whole lot. It's really hard to say how that will end up when they start bringing that back to the forefront. I do think that because of that, you will see white supremacists unite behind the right for the most part, even if some of them supported Biden in terms of the election. They're going to support the right in terms of violence, since the black population is associated with the left at this point. And I think you're absolutely right that we'll see more racial targeting from this.
Yeah, I mean, we're already seeing that right now. I mean, if Ayanna Presley's office really did happen, if that really did go down, get ready for some more crazy stuff like that happening and more things being targeted towards people who are either liberal, any person that has touted or spoke out loud saying hashtag defund the police, any person that has said anything that might be radical left ideologies. More and more people are going to start getting targeted, I think, because there is still the radical right that don't want for things to happen. Like Mr. Super just said, which is funny. He said, communism starts in 6 days. There's a lot of people on the right that do actually believe this, that we are going into a socialist society, a socialist ideology. And it's like, all right, just as much as we thought, oh, by the way, oh my God. Okay, 2016. I'm sorry. This really quick. This sparks something. 2016, Trump got inaugurated, right? We all sat there going, oh, there goes the neighborhood. But then people are going, but wait. Just give him a chance. He might do something really dope, right? Where are we now? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that we're going to walk into a world of communism and, anarchy, socialism, and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I'm going to say the same thing. Wait. Let's see if he even lasts a year. First off, he might get the 25th slapped in his face. 25, pap, in the face. And then all of a sudden, Kamala. And then if it's Kamala, it might be a different conversation. You see what I'm saying? Just saying that out loud. Let's see how he lasts. Let's see how he performs. Let's see if his engine can actually go off-roading for a little bit. Because he has to off-road for a while. To deal with all this craziness. This mess that's been made. You know what I'm saying? And then he can actually start doing some diplomatic stuff. Presidential-ish. But like I said, I was a person that said, hey, Trump, I'm not excited about it, but hey, let's sit back and see what he does. Like, we have no other choice but to do that. And then, now we're here. You know what I'm saying? Boom. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, it's like, okay, let's just wait. Let's just wait and see what Biden does. I know a lot of people are going, oh, there goes our country. Our country's being stolen from us. Trump's concession speech was a deep fake and he's dead. He's actually dead. And Nancy Pelosi was kidnapped. So I'm just kind of like, all right, let's just wait. Let's just step back and wait. Let's just step back and wait, guys. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to get all angry and stuff. Not yet, at least.
I do want to point out that so far, deepfakes aren't convincing enough to actually.
No. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
I'm a deepfake.
Hit you, David.
Yeah. Well, we've already established that Jack is an AI. You're an AI as well. You guys aren't even real. You know what I mean? Right. T ain't even real. You know what I mean? Shoot, it's freaking nuts. But you know what? We got to go into a quick commercial break, guys. Please keep the comments going down below. We'll be right back. We got to talk about some crazy body cam footage that was recently released on the shooting of a pastor on his front porch, y'all. We got to look at this video, do a little bit of a deep dive into the actual, not the body cam footage, but the video that was captured by his family. It's heart-wrenching and it's terrible. So we will be right back. Hit those likes, get those likes up, all the way up. Turn that thing all the way turned up. We'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
You love peace and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that. So what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean, rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You're gonna perform
I'm sorry,
tonight.
I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation today. If this is your first time checking out this show, please go hit that like button down below and don't forget to crush that subscribe button. I do this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I also do an evening show at 7 p.m., and that's on Tuesdays through Thursdays. This evening show, though, by the way, might be a little bit later than usual because I am getting a press pass to watch a movie, which I'm very excited about because I want to be able to do a review on it Friday. So I'm very excited about it, but I got to go and do this screening of this movie tonight. So I will be late on the show tonight, just a heads up. But I usually do my show 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesdays through Thursdays, okay? And I think what I'm going to be doing here also, I know there's a little bit of a left turn, but I will be doing a live stream on Twitch on Saturday. And I would love to have you guys come on and join me on my my Twitch stream on Saturday. So if you got time to come on, I will be talking about that tomorrow and tonight as well, just to remind you guys. But Saturday, I will most definitely be doing a Twitch-only show streaming on Saturday on Twitch. Anyway, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. Most definitely crush. I would love to see those likes get past 100 likes today. That would be amazing. Please go beyond 100. Crush that 100 like button down below. I would really appreciate it. Anyway, we got to jump into this story. This is a story. Before we go into this heartbreaking story, we do have a random ass story about Armie Hammer. And I don't know if it's, I don't know what's going on. Is this cannibalism? I have no idea what's going on. Jack's got the story. What's a guam, bruh?
So this is a strange one. So Armie Hammer, I wasn't too familiar with who he was, but he was in Arrested Development, Veronica Mars, Gossip Girl, Reaper, Desperate Housewives.
Hey, dead giveaway. He was the Lone Ranger in The Lone Ranger. If you've ever seen that movie, Lone Ranger is Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer is Lone Ranger in that. It was a terrible movie, but you know what I'm saying. With Johnny Depp and all that, where he played Tonto. Okay, I think they know now. Armie Hammer.
Okay, so they're over social media. Somebody leaked supposed DMs from Armie Hammer, that multiple different women that he was talking with, and essentially the male version of a dominatrix. Is that just a dominatrix kind of thing? Like he seems like he's in that type of position, or has sex slaves, or like that's the way that he treats these people when he's talking to them.
So he's a sadist.
He's like, you're mine. Like,
wait, no,
just say you're mine. You're mine. Like,
so he's a sadist.
I guess so. Whatever term is proper for that.
I need to look this ish up. Go ahead.
And so, but these texts or these DMs that were in here were talking about like how he's saying, "I need your blood," like, and it's weird saying this out loud, and and it's weird to admit it, but it feels good saying it. I need your blood, and to this one girl, and she's like, "Oh, again." Like, and he's like, so he's like drinking blood of people, supposedly. I guess that is borderline cannibalism type of stuff. He's denying everything. Obviously.
Of course he's denying it.
Because when you get outed for cannibalism, it's not like you're like, yeah. But he's the only way he's responded is saying, I'm not responding to these BS claims, but in light of the vicious and spurious online attacks against me, I cannot, in good conscience, now leave my children for 4 months to shoot a film in the Dominican Republic. And Lionsgate is supporting me in this, and I'm grateful for them for that. So he's left from his current role on Shotgun Wedding with Jennifer Lopez. So that's just some strange stuff. But the message shared had graphic sexual fantasies, going as far as cannibalism, with the actor appearing to write to a woman to the app that he is 100% a cannibal and desired to drink your blood. So,
what?
Some people got some weird things that they are into. Like,
I mean, well, one, either somebody has nothing better to do with their time but to fabricate some random stuff on random ass Armie Hammer. I mean, let's be real. It's Armie random ass Hammer. This is not Leonardo DiCaprio. This isn't Tay Diggs. This isn't Tyson. You know what I mean? This ain't like Trey Songz or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they could have picked. There are so many other people under the sun that they can make up stuff on. Right?
Right.
And they chose Armie Hammer. This thing is real. This story is real. This has got to be real. This is ridiculous.
So in the DMs and stuff too, on his Instagram or whatever, I guess the likes you can set to public or private, and his were public. So people are going back through his likes and like seeing the things that he liked previously, and it's girls in full on latex like from head to toe, just with like a small hole to be able to breathe through, like kind of like
he's a sadist.
You remember from Pulp Fiction? Go get the Gimp.
Yeah.
With the Gimp sleeping and he's all in leather, like that type of stuff was like the things that he was liking.
Yeah.
And one of the DMs here, it says, you just have to live to obey and be my slave. I will own you. That's my soul, my brain, my spirit, my body. Would you come and be my property till you die? If I wanted to cut off one of your toes and keep it with me in my pocket so I always had a piece of you in my possession, I'd chase you down and pounce on you so fast if you tried to walk away. You'll need something strong to hold me back from you.
What?
These are like the DMs that he's sending out to these girls.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then stitch you back up because I won't let you die. It would be a waste of a perfect slave. Tell me the fantasy. Can you imagine all the warm? Like these are just like some screenshots of this stuff.
Okay,
like,
so can I interject here really quick? So a sadist, he's a sadist. He's into S&M, obviously, but this is one thing that doesn't make any sense to me. It's kind of like the same story that we were having about the Olympic swimmer. I was talking about this Olympic swimmer on last night's show, and there literally was a Olympic gold medalist swimmer that was part of the riots, right? You are somebody who is a public figure. You have to think about what you're doing, right? Before you go out and do it, right? So this is the same thing that goes out to Armie Hammer. I don't know why you're named after, something that gets stuck into in a refrigerator to keep things fresh. But anyway, Armie Hammer, please explain this, because this doesn't make any sense. Armie Hammer, let me tell you something, man. Armie Hammer, you're a celebrity. You're in movies. People know who you are. If you start going onto your Instagram and start liking random stuff that turns you on, you're exposing that ass. You're exposing yourself. You're clearly exposing yourself. Like you should have your. That's the thing. Some other celebrities have like two different accounts. One that is literally for their brand, and another one where they can go and like anything they want. No one knows who they are. It's just random pictures, right? They go on there. They got their ghost account. You should have your ghost account used, bruh. Why do they have if you have like some crazy S&M photos of latex photos and everything getting liked with your name on it? Either that is you are being extremely careless and destructive with your own brand and your own image, or it is a full-on problem.
Mental illness.
It's definitely a full-on problem. If it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to a thing where you throw all caution to the wind and you don't give a damn anymore, and you're just going, I'm gonna like anything, I don't care. I'm gonna like these photos and everything. I don't give a damn, bruh. It's wrong. It's wrong. If you're trying to and don't get me wrong, whatever you do behind closed doors, you know what I'm saying? As long as it's consensual, I'm cool with it. It's behind closed doors. I don't need to know about it. But if you're drinking somebody's blood, if you're saying I need your blood, and the girl's going, again? That's weird, yo. That's weird. Oh, you stop, Armie Hammer. Stop it again. You know what I'm saying?
One more.
Illuminati, baby. Illuminati. Hova. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. It's The Rock in the building. I'm sorry. This is some Illuminati stuff. Please, I'm sorry, Jack. You got another story. Continue.
So, no, this is just one more of the interactions. So, and this is the one that's like, okay. He was replying to some girl or sending her a message. Oh, my God. That just made me so hard, and it makes me confused as to why. Is that even possible? So hard. Thinking of holding your heart in my hand and controlling when it beats. I am 100% a cannibal. I want to eat you. That's scary to admit. I've never admitted that before. I've cut the heart out of a living animal before and eaten it while it was still warm. End quote.
I thought Armie Hammer sounded like a super villain. That seems about right.
Yeah, he's like twirling his handlebar mustache as he's saying, yes, it gets me so hard. You know what I mean? This doesn't make any sense to me. Personally.
It's a setup. He's the next Hannibal Lecter.
Boom!
New movie coming.
He is full on in method. He's a method actor. He is so deep seated into it. He's about to be the next Hannibal. Yeah, there you go. Hannibal the Cannibal.
There are like a few recreational vampire cults in like California where, you know, people go to, I guess, pretend they're vampires, or maybe they think they're vampires and drink either fake blood or supposedly sometimes real blood. I don't know. All the ones I've seen were fake blood from what I could tell, but it is actually a thing that it kind of has a popularity in some places. I mean, even the cannibalism thing is weirdly like becoming more common. There's like a contract. I don't remember if it was in a California or somewhere nearby where someone just signed a contract like a year or two ago that their friend could eat them after they died. And we've been seeing weird stuff like this for the past few years. I guess there has actually been a rise in cannibalism, but I wouldn't have expected it.
I had a nice Chianti and some fava beans. No, I just... Oh, dear God, let's not get there because we will get instantly banned. We're not going to talk about that. We are not going down that route. But that's crazy and that's nuts and that's disgusting. I mean, that's nasty. That's nasty. I'm sorry. That's nasty. Who wants to drink somebody's? That's just wrong. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that this is even real. See, this is the thing with celebrities. They don't think. They automatically think that they're normal human beings when they're not. And then you send out these Instagram messages or photos or text messages and all that stuff. You don't think these people are going to go and screenshot that ish for their own so that they can have incriminating stuff from you? You make monies. You secured them bags, baby. So of course they're going to sit there and go, nah, this is Armie Hammer sending me a message to drink my blood, and he's fully admitting that he's a cannibal. Screenshot. That's it. Now they got you for life. I expect $1 million wired into this account at the top of every single month till you die. And then we'll eat you after. Nummy. That's so gross, man. But here it is. There's been so many different stories about adrenochrome, etc. So this could very well be true. I think it's true. Armie Hammer is not somebody I even care about. I'm not a fan of his movies. I've never been like, ooh, Armie Hammer's in a movie and run to the movie theater to see it. No. When was the last time he was in a movie? No offense. Exactly. I was waiting for the answer, but there was no answer. Don't worry. I'll wait. Nothing. Exactly. So for him to be out in a story like this most definitely is a true story. This ain't even urban legend type ish. This is a true story. This is a true story. If this was like, Chris Brown is into drinking blood and eating people, I'd sit here and go, this is fake. Chris Brown is out there. Armie Hammer is nowhere. He's making a movie right now with what, Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, not right now. They're taking a break.
They're taking a break from making a movie with Jennifer Lopez. Yeah.
So because of that, they took a break because of cannibalism or because of COVID?
Because of the cannibalism story.
Facts. And I'll say this though. I know for a fact that movie is going to be a hit. That's a lie. Anyway, So like I said, I mean, like, when was the last time you saw a Jennifer Lopez movie that, like, I'm sorry for the left turn, but let's be real. When was the last time you saw a Jennifer Lopez movie that was bomb? That was just not a bomb. Well, they do bomb, but you know what I'm saying? The bomb. Like, you're just like, bruh, that was an amazing movie. Selena's, that's about it. I mean, she did another movie with her then husband, Mark Anthony, that I thought was dope as hell. El Cantante, sorry. Really good movie. Didn't get a whole lot of love. The Cell, Shay just said something. That's good. But that's all the way back to Cali, like way back. You know what I'm saying? Way back. When was the last time he did anything good? I'm sorry. That movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. That's about it. About the shoot, I forgot its name. The head of the FBI.
Catch me if you can.
Hoover.
Oh.
Right? Edgar
Back in
Hoover.
the day, yeah.
Edgar Hoover. I don't remember the name of the movie. Maybe it was Hoover. I don't freaking know. But anyway, good movie. He was in it. You know what I'm saying? But that was it. When was the last time he did anything good? So the fact that his name is being put out there like this is crazy. What country was he in shooting this movie, by the way? With J-Lo? Jack?
Is called
The Country?
No. What was this?
What country? It's called
I closed that screen.
It's okay, but it was in another country. All I'm trying.
Shotgun Wedding.
No. The country. It was shot somewhere. It was being shot somewhere, right? Outside of the U.S., right? You just said it. I forgot what it was.
Shotgun Wedding's the name of the movie, but I don't know where it was. It was filmed in Dominican Republic.
Bang. So, of course, there's a possibility of random ass-ish going on in Dominican Republic. That's what I'm going to say. It's a completely different country. It's a completely different place. Different ground rules. Different setup. What if he was there and he's like, oh, I'm kind of bored and, I want to get a little fun. I want to rub a little booty here and there. Suddenly, try drinking some blood. No, I won't. This is the most amazing thing I've ever had. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, if this was them saying J-Lo was doing this, then I would say this is a lie. Because she's always out there in the zeitgeist. Armie Hammer is nowhere. And then suddenly the story comes up. Bruh, this is true. I'm sorry. Armie Hammer is real. That whole story is real. Sorry.
It's got to be. It's got to be. Because I mean, in previous things after The Social Network, in interviews, he said that he's a dominant lover who liked grabbing women by the neck and hair. But he said, after marrying his now estranged wife, Elizabeth Chambers, he had changed his sexual appetites. Appetite's a weird word to use there.
Yes, appetites.
It gets to a point where you say, I respect you too much to do these things that I kind of want to do. So.
Yeah, so he must have been introduced into something. Maybe Hillary Clinton invited him to a party, and then he was like, no, I don't want to. Oh, my God. This is what adrenochrome feels like? Now he's addicted. Sorry for saying that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that Jennifer Lopez will want to do this movie still with him, I imagine.
Hell to the no. She's probably like, I have to kiss him? I have to kiss him? Armie Hammer tastes like baking soda.
And blood.
Blood flavored baking soda, I guess.
Yes. No. Man, God have mercy on his soul, if that's really what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? That's gross. A huge shout out to Z Jitterbug. Thank you so much for the $5 tip. I really do appreciate it. We work hard out here in these streets to entertain y'all. They said, wow, I stumbled into something odd here, but your name is my last name, so it's hard not to stay. Aw, thank you.
Beautiful beef?
Pascal, you idiot. Pascal. But I appreciate you sticking around. Jitterbug, that's dope. So we got to jump into this next story. I don't know which one to go for. You know what I'm saying? This one's really sad. This story's sad. It is footage that we need to check out. We do have some developing information about the Capitol and all that. Something about Wisconsin as well, which we will jump into. But I think we should just segue into this and move on from this one here. There is footage, ring footage and cell phone footage of a shooting of a pastor out on his front doorstep. This pastor, from what the video shows, because there's not a whole lot of background story about this. His name is Patrick, or his name was Patrick Warren Sr. There was a cop that came up to the house, rang the doorbell, and this happened.
Is the door open? Hello? Oh, let me. Okay. No. I'm going to walk back out. I don't work like this.
Hey, Dad, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Please. No, I told you don't use a gun. 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 I told you don't use a gun.
So there you have it, guys. From my understanding, and I need to pull this piece up so that we have a little bit of so we know a little bit of a background story on it. So I got a little bit of a article here to pull up. 1 second, guys. Heartbreaking story, or heartbreaking video to see, and especially hearing the son screaming. I told you not to shoot him. I told you not to shoot him. It's just absolutely heartbreaking. So it's funny because from the video that was the post, I'm just reading off the post from the video that was on Instagram, and it says, this was in Killeen, Texas. Patrick Warren Sr. is a pastor, a beloved father, a cherished husband. His family called mental health professionals for help when he appeared to be having a mental health crisis. They sent the police instead. Within 1 minute of ringing the doorbell, police shot Patrick 3 times in the chest and killed him. Now, we have had this conversation before about another gentleman. I feel so bad. I always hate when I refer to a past story and I forget the victim's name, and I'm forgetting his name. But there was a story that we covered a few months back, several months back actually, where it was a black man having a mental breakdown. He was naked. He was out in the streets. It was a cold winter's night. They covered they put a hood, gag hood or something like that over his head, and he later died. Let's just cut to the chase. And they called the cops, or they called 911 because they were trying to get him some help because he was having a mental break. Instead, they brought cops to him, and he ends up dying by the hands of the police. Now, this is almost the same kind of story. Not really a suffocation type of situation or dying like in the same way as George Floyd did, but you have somebody who is having a mental breakdown, who is having a psychotic break, and you have your family, concerned loved ones, calling 911, being like, "Hey, he's having a mental break. We need help. We need help." And instead of bringing somebody who is maybe more professional and knows how to, can do the needed protocols to keep this person alive. Daniel Prude, thank you, Jack. Thank you. Daniel Prude was that gentleman that I just said prior. But if they were able to bring somebody in, a professional, to take care of the situation, that video would not exist. Clearly, you could see the man wasn't thinking. The man was having a mental break. And yet now he is dead. And then you hear his son, I'm assuming that's his son, screaming, going, "I told you not to shoot him. I told you not to shoot him." There's got to be ways to gauge situations properly so that certain people don't need to have excessive force used upon them like that. Fellas, what are your thoughts? This breaks my heart.
I agree. I mean, as far as I can tell, the guy didn't have any weapon or anything like that. He was just unarmed and walked out at the guy. I mean, the cop himself was, from what I could tell, he's hitting the doorbell and then leaving so that they couldn't even see who was at the door. And then once he finally comes out, I mean, I guess he shouldn't have walked towards the cop, but he was on. The worst thing is that the cop shot him because he was unarmed. He didn't seem to be violent at all. We didn't see the exact shooting because it was all screened, but it seems completely unnecessary from what we did see right before the shooting.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any other angles yet from other people's Ring doorbells, or if there's going to be any actual like body cam footage. Because it's kind of hard to see once it all goes off camera. I don't know how. Was there a taser? It sounded like there was a taser at some point in time that was going off.
A Taylor was taken out, and those tongs or whatever you want to call them were deployed. So he was being shocked during that time, and then I guess it didn't work, or it wasn't doing what it needed to do, and then that's when he pulled out his firearm and shot him 3 times in the chest.
Just because he's advancing on him, I guess. And
yes.
He kept on coming towards him.
Because you can see he's doing this. He's obviously just like he's not with it. He's not, obviously you see he's not complying either. And I understand I understand the cop being scared. I'm not sitting here saying that it's all the cop's fault. But there were circumstances that I just kind of feel like you know when somebody is not right, that there needs to be a different way to handle the procedure. If you got to go body to body, if you got to put your hands on them, you put your hands on them. As long as that means that person's still alive. If the trigger, if the taser isn't working, that dude could have taken him easily. He could have taken him. He could have physically put him down. And I wouldn't be surprised if the family tried to help him too. Get him detained. You know what I'm saying?
They were yelling at him, telling him to sit down while he was walking towards them.
Yeah. So, of course, the family's sitting there going, we want him to live. We want him to survive. We want him to live. We don't want him to die. This incident shouldn't have happened. Period. It's heartbreaking because, it's heartbreaking. Just seeing something like that, just hearing that the son screaming, "I told you not to shoot. I told you not to use your gun. I told you not to use your gun." Like, Juanita just said something for sure. Tackle the man. Just tackle the dude. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm reading your comments real quick. Solo Road said, Mr. Pascal seems assured the officer could have handled the pastor in a physical confrontation. I think so. I really do. I really do think so. I think he could have at least taken him down. He may not have been able to. Yeah, sure, there would be a tussle. I'm sure there'd be a rolling around. It might not be super easy. That is a big man. That pastor was a very big man. But you could tell he's not fully with it. You tase him. Let's just say you tase him. It takes him down a little bit. Then you just get on top of him and you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not a cop. I'm not sitting here saying that this is easy. But this man should not be dead. You're pulling out a gun and going pop, pop, pop in the chest. That's a lot. David, what were you going to say? I'm sorry. Just reading that comment.
Specifically on that is that I don't know about every police department or whatever, but most of them do train you, from what I've seen, in like physical grappling and stuff. It's one of the things police officers are supposed to do, is to be able to basically wrestle people down and subdue them that way. I can't speak for the specific officer or whatever, but that is training that most of them should go to, and I would think that that would be their first default in a lot of cases. I mean, I've seen people in more dangerous situations that would refuse to shoot because there's a peaceful resolution, but one thing that seems common with cops in America is that they're more willing to shoot Americans than a lot of other, say, militaries willing to shoot other enemies at times. And I think there should be a continued emphasis on the ability to grapple and strength training for the police. That's one of the things I think is a huge problem. Especially, you see a lot of police that are incredibly overweight or can't chase anyone. So, of course, they're going to resort to the best force of violence they have. Even if they're not thinking about it, they're going to pull up their gun because they can't win a fight and they can't get away. So this is something they really need to be trained in, and something they need to know how to do. And when I say training, I don't mean just like once a year, like a gun certification or whatever. It should be something they be practicing on a regular basis, like every week or so.
Practice jujitsu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Practice those grappling moves, that kind of thing. That's why I keep on thinking that like cops need to be at the the most tip top shape ever. Doesn't matter if they're riding in the car and constantly just not doing anything except giving out traffic tickets and moving violations and stuff, you know, boring old stuff, but they should be at tip top shape. Like these cops should be like freaking cut, you know what I mean? Strong, fast, agile.
Like the Army.
Like the Army. Yeah. I feel like they should be, because you've seen these criminals get away from some of these cops that have a little bit too much around the belly. You know what I'm saying? Get back here. That should never happen. These cops should be freaking tip-top shape, and that's in my personal opinion, so that they can detain somebody without any issues. You see what I'm saying? That's what it should. That's how it should be. Be able to detain somebody and not kill them with a gun. The taser didn't work, so like that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Really? There were so many other options he could have used. He could have tased him. Fine. Tase him. Doesn't work? Get on him. Bruh, we just saw a video of Soho Karen getting arrested with a DUI. She was resisting arrest. Those cops had a hard time getting her arrested, trying to get the cuffs on her. Had to take two big old boys. Clearly these dudes haven't ran in a long time, kind of thing. Not knocking any old officers at all. I'm just saying those guys were not physically fit, physically able to do their job. It took two men to take probably 105-pound wet, little tiny petite female. Took two men to arrest her. And she was drunk too. By the way, she's still alive. She was on CBS this morning with Gayle King. You know what I'm saying? She's still alive to tell her story. And yet we got a pastor who was having a mental break. He didn't accuse anybody of stealing an iPhone. He didn't stab nobody. He's a man of the cloth, speaking the good word. And he had a mental break. And now he's dead. There's got to be new procedures made and new fundamentals and criterias and requirements made for these cops. Period. I'm not sitting here saying defund the police. Just things need to be restructured. For sure. That cop, by the way, was being lazy. That was a physically abled cop. That was not some dude who's in his late 50s who's just been, sitting behind a desk or anything like that. That was a physically abled man that could have easily gotten behind him, taken him down, and put the cuffs on them. And if that doesn't work, then you go towards option B or C or whatever it is. That's what I think. That's a damn shame. We got to jump into this next story, guys. And of course, keep the comments going. I really do appreciate it. This is a piece that I was going to talk about a little bit earlier, but I wanted to kind of separate these things from, the Civil War conversation to the Capitol building riots and everything. This piece of the story is a very interesting one here. This one has to do with a congresswoman. And there's a lot of interesting speculations going on around this particular woman, this congressperson. Hold on. Pop up. Gotta love these pop-ups. All right. So I don't know if you've been hearing about this story that's been circulating quite a bit as of recently, but GOP lawmakers dodge metal detectors added after the Capitol riots. Blast them as an atrocity. This is true. So, when Representative Lauren Boebert walked on Tuesday through new metal detectors installed after the Capitol riots, the machines started beeping. But Boebert, who had carried her bag in with her through the metal detectors, refused to hand it over. Soon, she was in a standoff with police. This is a true story. The scene, first chronicled by CNN congressional reporter Ryan Nobles, was one of the many tense interactions between GOP House members and Capitol Police over the new security measures. Some refused to go through the detectors. Others pushed past police after setting off the devices. One legislator even took to the House floor to call the measures an atrocity. The complaints left Democrats fuming that Republicans were more concerned about basic security changes than investigating their party's role in instigating the riot that necessitated the measures. Do these people not understand that literally everyone has to go through metal detectors to get in here? Tweeted Representative Don Beyer. Average people do not get to bring guns into the U.S. Capitol in normal times. Get over yourselves. Now, this is something that is very interesting because there's a lot of speculation over Representative Lauren Boebert. They've been talking about how, one, and I know that Jack has a little bit about Lauren Boebert and QAnon, but she is also a hardcore gun rights activist. Okay. Now, there's been a lot of conversation how a lot of these Republican congressmen are having a hard time going into the Capitol building with these metal detectors. Why? Because they got their CCWs going. They got guns. They're exercising their Second Amendment, right? They're exercising their right. But given the fact of what's recently gone down on the 6th, I don't blame people being concerned about said Republicans coming in strapped. Jack has a little bit more about Lauren Boebert because there's a lot of speculation as well about who she is, what was going on during the time of the riots. She was literally tweeting live the whereabouts of Nancy Pelosi in her tweets live during the riots. While people were watching this and seeing this on TV, and also people who are on the streets trying to bum rush the Capitol building, they were also seeing these tweets coming from Representative Lauren Boebert that were giving them information about the whereabouts of certain people, including Vice President Mike Pence. Jack, please continue.
As a little background for her, so when she ran against Scott Tipton in Colorado, she was, open about the being able to follow the Q movement. She said that is very familiar with the QAnon conspiracy theory and that is motivating and encouraging and bringing people together. And that she said that the Q movement on far right YouTube, if this is real, then it could be really great for our country. She continued on saying, QAnon means U.S. is getting stronger and better. We are returning to conservative values. I'm tired of compromise and believe Americans are too. It's never enough for people on left. We compromise far too much. They always want more. So just the fact that there's QAnon supporters that have been elected into our Congress, which QAnon basically thinks that the government's going to be overthrown and taken down from the inside. So people openly elected people that are for taking down the government, which is, it's kind of ironic, I guess. But you know, it's a. But she was under fire for allegedly tweeting out Nancy Pelosi's like location during the Capitol riots.
Yep.
And to think about that,
live tweeting.
Pelosi is going in hiding, and she is inside saying, "Hey guys, Pelosi's moved to this wing, and she's over here now. If we're looking for somebody that's on the inside, that sure sounds like somebody that's on the inside." Like, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty crazy to think that another person in Congress is trying to out the location and safety of another person that's within the government. I don't know. It's insane to me to think about some of the people's ideologies that have been elected into these positions.
I just think it's very strange, and I understand like one of her pieces of her argument is that she's saying that there's a lot of that she's going, hey, I was tweeting the same thing that the mainstream media was putting out there as well. So it wasn't like I was saying anything that was far-fetched. It wasn't like I was leaking information that they couldn't have already known. But at the same time, then let mainstream media give out that information. Why put it on your own Twitters, on your own tweets, on your own twits? It doesn't make any sense to me. Let the mainstream media give out that information. If you are already in the middle of a siege, a coup, you're in the middle of a riot, and you have time to go, no worries, Nancy Pelosi's gone, guys. Just so you know, Nancy Pelosi's gone. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, yeah, Vice President Pence is over in this area. That doesn't make sense. As much as you excuse it, David.
Like her whole rise to power was interesting. I think she lives in Palisade, which is like 20 minutes from me. It's a small town. It's like small enough it doesn't even have any fast food restaurants or anything. I don't even think it has a store. It just has a gas station. But from what I understand, when she was running, she was running against Scott Tipton, and Scott Tipton had lost a lot of favorability because he wouldn't. He was kind of just going along with the Democrat plans in reference to COVID and such, and some people weren't happy about that. If I recall right, Boebert had her own restaurant shut down because it was open during COVID-19 with too many people in it, and that's kind of what drew attention to her. So she got her GED and then ended up running, and so she won the primaries without problem because of Scott Tipton, but then she went up against, I think it was Michelle Bush, who was the only Democrat that ran, and the problem was mostly that she was a Democrat. I liked her as an option, but it's a more right-oriented area, and she was bringing in a lot of things that people didn't want, like socialism to the community. That it's a poor community. They arguably couldn't afford that, so that's why Boebert got in. But even from the beginning, she was big on gun rights and talking about how she would always carry her gun into Congress and everything, as saying it's her right. So she mostly did get her seat in response to more moderate Republicans not working, or more moderate Republicans who were working with the Democrats in regards to COVID and the shutdowns. Specifically, our governor, I forgot his name. Anyway, our governor He is a Democrat, so he's more left-leaning, and part of her popularity came from working against him. Jared Polis, that's the governor's name. And so that's why she got so popular. I'm not surprised she's taking her gun in. She said she would do that from the beginning, and that's kind of the platform she ran on.
Right.
Yeah.
But, now we're in a place where we just had a riot. We just had people die, on that soil. The blood hasn't even been fully washed off the steps and inside the building yet. You see what I'm saying? Like, the dust hasn't even settled yet. And you got Republicans going, F you, I'm not using this metal detector. I got my rights. I just think that it's a little much, don't you think? Like, isn't it too soon? Wouldn't you go, you know what, you're right, guys. There's a lot of chaos.
I mean,
I understand
I see that. But at the same time, on the congressional floor, of the people that were actually defending all the other ones were politicians with their guns that they carried in, even though they're not technically supposed to. So, I mean, I agree. There should be a lot of firearms in there, but that's what they were doing for defense before during the riot, and it very well could have saved them if things broke into there, and they actually did try to, say, kill AOC or anyone right on the floor. Those other lawmakers were there to try and protect everyone. And it's obviously a problem since there's a huge division within our lawmakers, so we don't really always know their intent. But while I don't think she's necessarily right, I do think there is an argument to be made for the politicians remaining armed when the police aren't protecting them and people are being let in to the Capitol building with zip ties and other weapons.
She just 17 minutes ago put out a tweet saying the future of the Republican Party is patriots who are unafraid to stand up for what's right and to standing up for the Constitution, not just in word but in deed. President Trump gave us the model for how to lead with backbone. Let's follow that going forward. I feel like everything. I feel like you can read into it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. It's pretty nuts, though, still thinking, like, so the sergeant at arms during the riot told everybody not to make any social media posts, not to tell family, not to tell anybody about where they were.
Interesting.
And she defied it. And Mr. Swalwell, Representative Eric Swalwell, was housed with her, and said that they were given that same order, but she defied it, and she was more closely aligned with the terrorists than the patriots. Yeah, and it's not clear to what extent the rioters were coordinating an operation with government officials. So we ought to be extremely careful in this line of inquiry, is what Mr. Schatz has said. But he said we must discover which elected and appointed officials, if any, and which civil servants were helping the coup. So if she's interrogated and pinpointed for helping, then I imagine she'll be tried.
She most definitely will be. I mean, you look at that, security and the powers that be were sitting there saying, please don't tweet anybody, don't contact anybody, don't do anything right now. Go radio silent on all things. And what does she do? She's like, imagine her hiding under a chair or underneath a desk, and she's sitting there just tweeting this stuff. Why?
It's just based on her personality, from what I've seen. It's not unreasonable to think that she was, in fact, working with the people that got in to some degree. She's very much far right or close to far right. I mean, I'd say close to far right is a better term. I mean, she's huge on gun rights. She's not a fan of the COVID lockdowns.
Understandable. So is everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So is everybody else. Even the people who are sitting there going, hey, we need to do this, don't want to do the lockdown. You know what I'm saying? Even the people that don't want, you know what I'm saying? That's something everyone doesn't want to have happen. But you know what I'm saying? So that doesn't excuse.
I agree. And she does, it is a fact that she is aware of or supports QAnon or whatever. She said it herself, so I've heard it.
Word.
I mean, it's not unreasonable that she was involved. And that it's not unreasonable to think she was involved in that. I haven't seen any evidence for sure, but it fits her personality, and it fits some of the rhetoric she said. She hasn't talked about hurting anyone. I mean, I don't think she plans to do that, but
no, because she had her minions do it for her.
Yeah.
Sorry, she was involved. I'm sorry. It bothers me more than you know that this woman was an idiot. Was that defiant against security protocol, the requests of security to say, hey, get off radio silence, nothing. And she still was like, no, oh, well, then this person's done and this person's there and this, that. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous, y'all. That's ridiculous and it's wrong. It's wrong. She's definitely caught red-handed. And also, by the way, that was very stupid beyond that, too, because you don't think they're going to comb through everybody's stuff, do a deep dive into everybody's social medias, and you just stuck out like a sore thumb. Oh, look at you. You're putting out the information right there for everyone to see. During the riots. And your best excuse is, well, CNN and Fox News and mainstream media was putting out that information too the same time I was putting it out. No. Because the people that were on the riots aren't looking at CNN. They're looking at their Twitter. They're looking at their social media. They're looking at the alerts that you put up. Because you know how you can hit those notification bells. Don't forget to do that for us too. Hit that notification bell. Shameless plug. But you know, you don't think that as soon as they put a tweet out that they're going to, you know what I'm saying? Ding. Wait, hold up. I'm done, trying to hit this, break this window. Hold up. Nancy Pelosi's gone, y'all. She gone. Well, I mean, we're already in here. Let's just keep breaking some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But Pence is still in there. Let's go. She got a lot of explaining to do, like I've been saying lately. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. That's all I got to say about this one. For sure. By the way, we got some merch. Hey, Jack, why don't you tell them about our merch? Tell them about that merch, baby.
Hey, get on over to teespring.com/stores/the-Pascal-show. And you can check out, a couple little things that we got on over there. Let me see here. I'm gonna put up that link again for you guys in the chat. But you can get a shirt, a mug, a hoodie. We got a couple other things that we're putting on there.
Masks. Let's not forget
sayings that Pascal's been saying.
Yes.
So let me get this link here. It's got a --store at the end of it too. So
yes.
But for some reason, when I put my links in there,
I'm gonna repost it right now.
You gotta copy.
I'm gonna repost it right now, baby. But yes, we have masks as well because I know that there's a lot of people that need masks, and so you can definitely buy those as well. T-shirts, hoodies. We haven't ventured into hats yet. We will be. And yes, once I get to 10. Wow. Once I get to 20,000 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway on some really cool drip. So definitely help share the word, spread the word about the show and everything. That would really mean a lot. Also, we have a Discord. If you guys are interested in being a part of those conversations, because the conversations are starting to brew on our Discord, David, if you don't mind putting that link into the conversation, into the chat as well, please go download Discord, set up an account, and be a part of it. Because from this point forward, pretty much, I will be taking phone calls and video calls from you guys live on the show only through Discord. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. I will be using solely Discord for the phone calls, video, voice chats, and video chats, because I want to have you guys call in and hear your 2 cents. You know what I mean? I want to hear from the family, and this family has definitely doubled in size, and it's been amazing. And I can't say thank you enough. But we aren't done yet, y'all. We are not done yet. We got one more story. This is a breaking story. David's got the story. This is about Wisconsin State Capitol is starting to board up their buildings, and they're saying that the National Guard is on its way there. David, speak on it, baby.
All right. So All right, so this is obviously in response largely to the Capitol siege. One of the things that the Assembly Majority Leader, Jim Steineke, said for Wisconsin is that he said that I think vigilance is something we should take these reports seriously and make sure everybody that works around the Capitol is safe. And what he's referring to is that there's been multiple rumors, or I guess people saying, not so much rumors, but people saying that they intend to show up at the Capitol building for Wisconsin. So the Wisconsin National Guard will be already deployed to serve as a safeguard against that. And the FBI, in regards specifically to Wisconsin, said that our efforts are focused on identifying, investigating, and disrupting individuals that are inciting violence and engaging in criminal activity. Steineke, again, the representative, said that he doesn't expect there to be violence and he hopes that there won't be. And he goes on to say, I'm hopeful that this is an overreaction, that the reports are overblown as far as the possibility of unrest in state capitals throughout the county. And but in addition to that, just I think they just finished today or last night, they started boarding up all of the windows with like huge plywood sheets. They're using huge plywood sheets to pretty much protect all the windows, and they're boarding up anything that can be broken, vandalized, or stolen. And the FBI is very active in that area right now because, as I mentioned before, they expect armed protests in all 50 states and have information on those protests.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a surprise that they're already at the Wisconsin Capitol.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah. And the FBI said that, or sorry, not the FBI, but the State Bureau on Law Enforcement went on to say that while our standard practice is not to comment on specific intelligence products, the FBI is supporting our state, local, and federal law enforcement partners with maintaining public safety in the communities we serve. And he goes on to say, our efforts are focused on identifying, investigating, and disrupting. And that looks like that's mostly what's happening right now. The whole thing at Wisconsin is largely in preparation for the 20th. They haven't released exactly what rumors they've heard about violence, but they have said that there's multiples. And they're expecting that at least there'll be an armed gathering there on the 20th. The locals seem to be hopeful that there won't be any violence, but everything is being done in preparation for an attack with the boarding up of the buildings and the guard being deployed ahead of time to protect it.
They're getting ready. And, you know, even during Trump's White House Oval Office address that he did yesterday, I did a video on that. He did make a speech after the impeachment was the impeachment decision was made. And again, he is the first ever president to ever be impeached, not once, but 2 times a lady. Okay. So he did a speech. And during that speech, he did mention, he's been saying this a lot lately, actually. He's been saying, hey, there's speculation that a lot of issues are about to hit the fan over the next couple days, over this weekend and all the way leading to the inauguration. He's been saying it. I don't know if that's his way of like quietly touting and invoking something as well. I mean, there's that speculation, of course. I'm not sitting here saying that that is what he's doing, but there is speculation that he's poking the sleeping bears, kind of like, hey, come on. For those of y'all who are hearing that this thing is, you know, some people are saying that this is just a hoax or this is just rumor, but maybe he's kind of going, hey, come on. Hey, guys, this weekend, come on, run amok. But there's a lot of speculation. He did mention it on several different occasions. The news is talking about it. They're getting ready for like some crazy tidal wave of chaos at every single Capitol building throughout the entire country. And they say it's going to be starting this weekend. Allegedly. There it is. And you got the president. It's coming out of his own mouth now as well. That's insane. And instead of him going, that's a hoax, that's not true, he's going, no, there's speculation. There is talks that you guys want to start some stuff on like the 17th or something like that. It's real. This could very well happen. in every single state. Think about it, guys. What are your thoughts? You guys are quiet. Speak up. Jack. It's crazy knowledge, right?
I don't know. It's just one of those things. We don't know what's going to happen until it happens. We're at this point now where everything's speculation, and obviously people are prepping, and I'd like to hear at least that they're getting ready for it, and to prepare if something does go down, as opposed to being like understaffed. So, it's even like the Jefferson City has been increasing their amount of people here in Missouri as well that are at the Capitol. So I think that, all the Capitol buildings are taking the potential threat as a real threat. So
I'll say this, though. I'd rather go to Home Depot, get that rock salt, go out onto my sidewalks in my driveway, oversalt the hell out of that thing, ready for a snow apocalypse, and then nothing happens. I'd rather that than go, it's not true. Anytime the weatherman says it's gonna snow like crazy, it never happens. So I'm not gonna salt my front porch or my driveway or my front steps. And next thing you know, snow apocalypse happens.
Right.
It's the same thing. Yes, we've had many people say, like they said that there was speculation that there was supposed to be a blackout. Real talk, a blackout today and yesterday. There was supposed to be a full-on blackout, nationwide blackout on the 13th and 14th. Nothing happened. I get that. But now they're saying from the 17th up to Inauguration Day, it's supposed to be absolute pandemonium. I'm still going, hey, I'll believe it when I see it, but I'm not mad at our country getting ready just in case we do get pandemonium.
What if that whole bombing of the ATT building was just a prep, just to see if that works, see if it takes down communication, to see if it impacts an area. Because he said, "I will be remembered," and he was he believed in some of these different conspiracies, supposedly. And if that happens across in different states, maybe that would be the blackout. Like, that's I don't know. It's pretty insane to think about.
It's insane. It's a good possibility, though. You know what I mean? It's insane to think of it, but it is a good possibility. You know what I'm saying? I say, in case it rains, make sure you have your umbrella or your raincoat. You never know. It's better safe than sorry. But they might have to keep their head on a swivel. Might be standing on the balls of their feet, ready, in a ready stance for the rest of the year. That could very well be what it is. And if it ends up being that way, then I guess that's what you got to do to maintain order. Because if there was National Guard strapped on the 6th with 8-foot fences wrapping around the building, maybe this wouldn't have happened. The 6th could have been prevented. Then, you also got to remember, you never know that there might be random attempts. You know what I'm saying? There might not, like, instead of it being like, we're going to do it on the 12th of July, this is just going to be an element of surprise. Kind of like Christmas Day, the bombing. That came out of nowhere. Thank God it didn't, there was only a few people injured, and it wasn't something, there was only one fatality, which was the actual guy. But at the same time, it could have been much worse. So something to think about, guys. I mean, I'm not trying to put out fake stories or fake news, but this is real. That is a breaking story as of the past 15 minutes. That Wisconsin State Capitol is literally boarding their buildings up, getting ready for any type of chaos. There probably will be a few spikes of nuttiness going on throughout the country, or it may only stay focused on DC. But we should be prepared for whatever is to come. I don't think there's anything wrong with being prepared, hoping for the best, but be prepared for the worst, especially with what happened on the 6th, for sure. Anyway, that's the show, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming on today. It really, man, y'all are amazing. It's dope. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen on Inauguration Day. I'm hoping that it's just a peaceful, all around peaceful transition. I'm excited to see a new era, a new president in office. I'm excited to see a change, and I'm saying a change for the better. You know, I think every president that we have sworn in, I'm always hoping for something good. You know, I'm always hoping for that president to come out and just kick ass. You know what I'm saying? And so with Trump, I'm excited to close this book on Trump and move on to a new book. And hopefully this is a book called, you know, Positive Change and Nothing But a Lot of Monies for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, flip the light switch on, that money light switch back on, and let's start making money. Let's start raining in dough. That's what we should all be worrying about right now, making our pockets fatter every single day. Guys, thank you so much to Jack and David for being on. Great show today, guys. Great freaking show. I really do appreciate y'all. You know that. Thank you for being on.
Absolutely, man.
Happy to be here.
And everybody who's watching right now, I appreciate all y'all for being on. You guys are all amazing. You know what I'm saying? To the Pascal Show family, you guys really are some really amazing human beings. If you haven't done it yet, please go hit that subscribe button. Again, I do this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I also do a 7 p.m. Central Standard Time show. I will be on much later tonight, though, probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight, because I am watching a private screening of a movie that I get a chance to review, so I could talk about it on tomorrow morning's show. So I'm very, very excited about that. So definitely tune in for tomorrow morning's show. But I will be on around 9 o'clock tonight for a short show. I'm sure there's going to be some pop news or some news popping off, through now till 9 o'clock. I'm sure I'll be doing a pop-up video at some point today. So keep an eye out for that one as well. And yeah, I got to go work. Oh, and I got something really special that I'm going to show you guys tomorrow morning. I'm very excited about it. It's a lot of fun. It's something, yeah. It's just something I'm trying to bring back into the show, and I'm very excited about it. So tomorrow I got something special that's going to be dropping. It's going to be fun. Anyway, it's time to get going. I'll see you guys tonight, a little bit later, most likely, like I said, 9 p.m. tonight, okay? So be sure to hit that like button down below. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button. And I appreciate all y'all. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys later on tonight. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Wishing you love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire,
yeah,
fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.